Hello everyone, welcome to the first video episode of Musings Zamina. This is the first time I have decided to actually record myself making an episode, and it's exciting. I hope this bears fruit. It's actually quite cold. The time right now is 9:12 p.m. It is 29th of September 2024, and yeah, so today I was journaling, and the reflection for today was about my future self. Basically, I asked myself questions like, how would I like to look like 5 years from now, which is when I'm 26, or how would I like to be like when I am 26? And I just decided, let me make an episode on my podcast about it. I've already uploaded it on Spotify. Also, I was like, let me make a video because I want to talk more about it and I like talking. So, yeah. The basis of my knowledge about future self reflections normally comes from the psychologist Dr. Benjamin Hardy, because that's where I first got the idea of prospection to, with this, like thinking of a future self, like there's someone somewhere in the future you are pursuing. And as I said in the podcast, yeah, that this that instead of coming up with a self 5 years from now and waiting for 5 years to become that thing, you need to start becoming your future self now. So Dr. Benjamin Hardy has written a book called Being Your Future Self Now. And what the book basically is about how you become your future self now. So he talks about things like whatever it is that you've set out for your future self, you need to start living it right now. Don't wait for 5 years. And then he says that people are normally attached to the version of themselves that they are right now. That's why they're so scared to change. They're scared that if they do this, they're going to change so drastically that they're going to change their friends. But the thing is, most of you have made new friends this year. I don't want to say it's hard to lose a friend, but it's not hard to make a friend. It's a bit easy or easier to make friends than to lose them. But like, you can always make new friends if you think that the decision you're going to make is going to alter your life to the point of you're going to have to lose your friends. And I just like this whole idea of coming up with someone and becoming that thing, because it changed my life drastically in the past 2 years. Remember when I joined university, I didn't know who I was and I didn't know who I wanted to become. So I just used to do things because they felt right, or just because I felt like maybe that's what everyone is doing. And if everybody is doing something, it probably will work. It probably means that at least even if I fall off, I won't fall off from a select few, I'll fall off from the many. The thing is, that means that I was leading a life that was quite normal. And what that will have led to is that as time progresses, I would become the average of the people who are alive 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Meaning I'll be in the middle class, or like I'll just be an average person. I will not be an overachiever and I'll not be an underachiever. I'll just be apokatikati. And I think that's dangerous, because it means that you don't live life viciously. You don't attack things because you're so content, because most middle class people are content. Some of them are really working hard to become bigger, but like most of them are content. They're like okay with where they are. They don't want to go up. They're just okay. And the way this thing changed, yeah, I started changing slowly. It started with my hair. I used to have shaggy hair when I was in first year, and then I shaved it off. I remember the first time I shaved, I think I shaved because somebody had, like the barber had shaved me wrongly, or in a way I felt like I looked weird, and I was like, let me shave it all and start over, and start over like my afro. But the thing is, I used to find Nini hard, like keeping hair hard. So I when I shaved and I noticed I looked good in it, I was like, what's the point of me having an afro? Like, I don't even know how to take care of long hair. So I just decided to keep short hair, because my ideal future self is someone who has short hair, someone who is neat. I think I started changing is things like my diet, and I started going to the gym when I was in first year. Again, why did I do this? Is because I looked at my role models, the people who I looked up to. Someone like Dr. Miles Monroe, someone like Apostle Joshua Selman, someone like Barack Obama. and there was something that I was, or rather that they were that I was not, or I was that they were not. And that thing was fat. I used to be really, really overweight when I was in first year. I was 100 kgs, and I was like if I continued with that trajectory, I would have easily reached 120 kgs, 110 kgs. I will have reached high heights, and that means that I probably will have had health issues in the future. So I decided, okay, let me become like my mentors, because that's the whole idea of having role models. You become them, you start modeling them. And just like that, since I knew the kind of people I want to be in the future, I started changing. I started changing my diet. I started going to the gym. I started doing things that will make me my future self. Again, also with the books, my mentors are people who are really smart. I used to see books by Barack Obama or Dr. Miles Monroe. All of them have written books. Someone like Dr. Joshua Selman reads an insane amount of books on top of Bibles. Also, again, Mr. Raymond, who was my pastor in high school, he used to tell me all the time, you need to read books, you need to read books, you need to read books. So that's how I started changing. I actually became my future self. The person who I told myself I want to be 5 years from now, I started becoming now. And that's why, like 3 years later or 2 years later of practicing this, being your future self now, people normally tell me the same exact thing. You're too mature for your age. You're mature for your age. Rodney, are you sure you're 21? I'm like, yeah. Because they're like, there's no way you're 21. You must be 26 at least. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, the way you talk, the way you address yourself, the way you dress, there's no way you can be 21. Okay, I used to be 20. So people used to be 20, say 20, even right now 21. But you're 21, kind of, 20 is on that middle of child and adult. So now in December 21, I think I sound like an adult. But like ideally, people always tell me the same thing. You sound too mature for your age. And that's not a coincidence. That's because I am living my future self now. Whoever I wanted to be 5 years from now, donaishi sasa. That's why everybody's like, you're too mature, you're too mature. Remember, there's this book I told my friend to read called Outwitting the Devil. And then she came and told me she couldn't finish, because that's a book that she probably will read at a certain age, but for now she can't, because it's just something that older people read. And I was like, that's something I read. I read Tuesdays with Marie, and I was like, somebody told me that's a book that young people can't read, or that young people choose not to read, and only older people read. I was just like, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. But yeah, like ideally, ask yourself who you want to be, alafu uanze kuwa huyo mtu saizi. Saizi tu nimetoka kuwatch, as I was doing like research on this video, yeah, Mr. Beast. Now the book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he talks about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast had made a video that he said he's going to drop 6 months from now, and I decided to watch it. And he was saying that he's gonna, I think I'll link the videos down here. He's going to have 50,000 subscribers in 6 months, and then after the 6 months one, he had done a 5-year one. He said that in 5 years he's gonna have 1 million subscribers and a certain number of views, and he actually got it at the end of at the end of 6 months. I'm not sure, but like at the end of the 5 years, he had over 130 something. He wanted 1 million subscribers. He got 138 million subscribers because he made a promise to his future self. Because whatever he picked from his future self, he started living in the now. So imagine how much your life will change if you start living in the now for what you want your future self to be. Yeah, that's I believe like this is a perfect example of what I want to be my future self. I want to be a content creator, and that's why I've decided to make video podcast. Exactly. So yeah, reflect on what I've said. Kindly tell me what your thoughts on the whole future self, or the whole, what is it called? Come on, I had that name. Prospection is like, has it helped you in your life before? And how do you think you could help your friends, your sisters, your brothers, your siblings, your parents even, to become a better version of themselves? Kindly go subscribe to this channel first, and then go subscribe to my Spotify at Musings Amina. I will greatly appreciate. Over there's a more detailed episode that doesn't have my personal stuff. I feel like this one has a lot of personal stories. That one has more straightforward things for you to implement. So kindly go listen on my Spotify page, and follow us on Instagram at Musings Amina, or minor_Rodney. and minor_musings, and also on Twitter and X, on everything, man, to follow. Tukiona tu minor musings, tafadhali follow. Yeah, thank you. Have a lovely day.